content for real estate investment. I am going to put a bunch of stuff in the comments and on the Hope for Homes Facebook page, and it will be on the YouTube channel. But some of the forms and some of the other things that are going on, I'll make collateral for the class. But the most important, oh, and I was at the hospital today, so I need to cut off my my thing. That's a little crazy. Okay, so the question comes up with, what is the play on a piece of real estate? Because we end up making sure that we're buying something at a discount. The most important thing that we do in real estate ever, when we're investing in real estate, is the buy. The buy side of the real estate is the most important thing that we do, because if we don't buy it right, then even if we manage it perfectly, there's a high probability that it's going to fail, because it needs maintenance and it needs updating. It needs all of these different things. The tenancy goes vacant for a little while while we figure out a use for it. But if we buy the property cheap enough, then the chances of our success go way up, way up. Okay. So it doesn't really matter that much where it is or what it is, if we satisfy number one. So number one is buy it correctly. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to argue with me. I don't really care, but I don't buy property in Denver anymore, or San Diego, or New York, or any of these big populated areas, because the price is too high. And I use a mathematical metric when I'm looking at properties. And the metric for me is 1% rents against gross purchase price. So if we're buying a property for $100,000, we need to be renting that for about $1,000 a month. And that thumbnail metric allows for us to take a rough guess on profit. And that's generally, I just do 50%. So if I buy a house for $100,000, I rent it out for $1,000. That gives me $12,000 a year in income. Chop that in half for taxes, pass-through taxes, insurance, maintenance, repairs, vacancy, whatever. I got $6,000 coming in against that $1,000 against the $100,000 investment. That is one of my metrics that I have. So if we look at a property in Denver and it's $450,000 for 3 beds, 2 baths, and we're trying to rent that for $2,500 a month, we're not making 1%, and we're in the wrong area. Now, if you can pick up a house in Denver and it needs help, and you buy it for $100,000, you put $100,000 into it, it's worth $400, but you're only into it for $200 and you're renting it for $2,500. The math works. That's perfect. However, that doesn't happen very often. Now, when you're buying in rural Oklahoma, where I'm at right now, and I'm not saying Oklahoma City, rural Oklahoma, that's where I'm investing right now, because my belief is that play right now meets the criteria that I need to make a proper investment decision. So when I'm buying a house for $50,000 and it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, and I rent it for $650 a month, then I've got an asset that is performing the way I want it to. And all of the houses and buildings that I have purchased in the last year and a half are on their way to doubling in equity, which is what we want long term. So I had to take a chance on rural Oklahoma when I bought it, and it's turned out to be a good situation for me. Now, one of the plays that we're making is to buy John Butler. I did. How are you doing, man?